Hello everyone, this is Silk coming to you with Operation Thunderball, Japan 7.4. This one might be a little bit different video than what I've done so far. My turn's actually going to be pretty simple, but there is a few just general cleanup things from some of the earlier ones. Just a few notes kind of for everybody here. Um, so while everyone here in this little group here with Global War Enthusiast and Panzer J and Hambone and Bruce have been playing Global War plenty of amounts of times. This is their first time ever playing V4. This is, however, not the first time for me playing V4. I started playing some sort of community, almost test games that we were where we uh, so as the rules kind of got posted and came out to some of the people in the community, we kind of scratch built some resources for ourselves using Tabletop Simulator to sort of kind of pre-play the game and see how it worked. And we were able to kind of give some feedback to some of the developers and some questions and comments and rules clarifications and all sorts of things. So I do have about 6 games, 7, I'm not entirely sure what the number is, under my belt that they don't have. So there is kind of just a knowledge base there, kind of difference between us to some degree. Trying to kind of limit a little bit of how much I advise anybody to do anything, just so they can kind of explore the game and find things, since that's part of the fun. But if you see me commenting on various rule stuff, that's why that is. And in this particular game, that's a little bit what I'm doing right now, is to kind of help out. And just as far as Panzer J, doing a 1-hour turn by itself is its own thing. I have made plenty of mistakes playing this game. People I've played with have made mistakes playing this game. We've thought we understood rules and went back and read them and realized we didn't. There's some interactions that we might have missed. Everybody's human. Happens to everybody. Don't at all ever get stressed out about those sorts of things. And we also just kind of make flubs. I mean, he obviously in Switzerland knew that it was mountain territory. His brain was thinking about 100 other things that he was trying to do as he's making that video, and he just didn't register it. That's just a simple little thing that happens to everybody. And it's the sort of thing that when you're playing with other people, they'll catch you on it and nobody even notices. But when you're playing by yourself, you don't have that component. So no big deal. We will always try to kind of correct things as we can, and just make the game flow. That's what we're here for. It's all just a fun little hobby for everybody. So here we go. There are a few minor corrections from G7 and R7. There's a few bits here. First off, for income real fast, um, Germany is at 40 income. I have them at their base income. They then will collect 3 additional for Vichy France, which I got to put Free France on here. Free France is at 5. Vichy France for 3, so that's 43. They get 6 for their bonuses, as they have both Sweden and Romania. And then they collected 11 from the Free French, as they looted or the French, I should say, as they looted their treasury. So that was 60. And then, so long as the Malenkov Ribbentrop Pact stays intact, Germany will get $5, 5 IPP at the end of the U.S. turn, and the Soviets will get 3, and that's what this little moniker is down here. So Germany, if everything stays as it is, will have 65 to start with on the next turn. As for the Soviets, when Germany on their turn had aligned Romania, that awarded the Soviets a D12 IPP, which Bruce hadn't realized, I think, at the time, and neither had Panzer J, so it didn't get rolled right then. So we did generate a roll for that. It came out as a 2, unfortunately, for Bruce. So he's currently sitting at a 20 base income. He was at 14, and he himself rolled a 4 on his turn for the normal Soviet increase, and he got a 2 from the additional increase. And then he has 1 more from Lithuania, which he's annexed. And that gives him a total of 21, but he also will get 3 once the turn ends and the Ribbentrop Pact can pay for itself. So he'll have 24 for next turn. As for a few other minor changes here and there, back when he was fighting in Switzerland, there was a self-propelled artillery that he had rolled a hit for at a 3, but it was actually a 2 because it was mountain. and so there was a militia still left alive, and we generated a roll for that militia, and it actually hit. So the Switzerland forces, even though they were killed in one turn, did inflict 4 casualties on 4 dice. Pretty basic. So that unfortunately killed a mountain infantry that Panzer J had here, and then the medium bomber here in France that was in southern France also had not gotten to roll. Panzer J had it marked somewhere else on the map, so we did a roll for that, and that one also hit. And then the one other element of that fight, Panzer J did have 2 self-propelled artillery that possibly could have killed that bomber before it got to make its defense roll, but both of them missed, so that did not happen. So Panzer J did lose light armor there. As for what happened in Warsaw, there was a couple of minor things that happened there. The first one was that he had marked a militia defending at 2, but a militia in a city would defend at 3. He did boost the infantry to 5s. He just had that little brain bit where he didn't also boost the militia up. And there was a militia that he had rolled at a 2, that as far as he was thinking, it was a 2, but he actually rolled a 3, and it would have been a hit. At the same time, however, the river that is on the map that he paid the river crossing for when he moved his 3 infantry or cavalry, 3 cavalry, and the infantry across West Poland. The river on the V4 map is on the West Poland side. So once you've conquered West Poland, you do not have to eat the river penalty from West Poland as you go into Warsaw. And there was, fortunately for Panzer J, cavalry that he did just the opposite. It actually rolled a 3 to hit, but he had believed his cavalry was only going to hit on a 2, and so he actually earned a hit that he did not credit himself for. And so kind of between those two things, he ended up fighting a unit that he didn't have to fight, but he also had a unit that he had missed that possibly could have hit. And I kind of ran down a little series. I watched this video and kind of did a die-by-die kind of transaction. And there's basically one part where there's a 50-50 chance whether a die roll would be a hit or a miss on one of his infantry, and wasn't credited as such. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that right darn now. There's a 50-50 chance that there is one additional casualty for, we'll grab this one, it's a blaze. Gray-black die here for Germany. So we're going to roll this right here in Poland. It is on a 6 or less, so 50% chance that the infantry will be killed, and on a 7 or higher, the infantry will survive. So we're going to give this a quick roll and see what happens here. We have a 5. That is the end of that poor infantry. So there is one less infantry in Poland there. As for one other spot, he actually was fine on the submarine, at least as far as I could tell. The one that he had kind of misplaced was actually up here in the English Channel, and that did go free French along with the battleship, so that was fine. The French ships, when they get rolled for, they don't actually move if they go free French. All the ships only move if they go Vichy or German, so they actually just stay where they are, and then they get moved on the free French turn like normal. The one on the bit though, this French submarine here in the Red Sea did not get rolled for, so we're going to grab a quick die here and roll for that. And in this particular case, because he's in the Indian Ocean, on a really high roll, instead of going German, he'll actually go Japan. So let's see what happens to him. Most of the boats have gone French, so we'll see what it does. 6, which should be scuttled, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, so 6 is scuttled. So that is the end of that French submarine. All right. One other minor correction there, also with the Vichy rolls. Panzer J was absolutely did all of them correct in the correct order as listed. However, there was a rules change that happened where the chart actually was flipped, and in order to kind of to align with what was on the boats, the low numbers are actually for the Free French and the high numbers are for the Vichy French. It's the exact opposite of how Panzer J had read it, and he did read it correctly. There we go. Oh, I don't know why my mic keeps dying on me. It's got to be something with my OBS here. So, the what was I saying? Oh, the Vichy rolls, yes. So the Vichy is actually reversed from what the chart that Panzer J was looking at the time. There's just been a change that kind of got reversed in a rules update that went online a little while ago, and so all of the results are stand, but they're just reversed. So the units that went Vichy instead are French. The territories that went Vichy are French, and the territories that are French went Vichy. So that's why the Vichy have $3. The French have, I believe, eight. One, two, three, four, five, six. I guess they got six of right ones. Let's see, Algeria, Cameroon, Syria, Madagascar is four, and then two for Vietnam. So yes, the French are at six. I need to update that. I had them at five. Uh, as for the Soviets, just a couple of other minor, quick things. Um, since the Molotov Pact was signed, the option to annex Bessarabia kind of goes away. You can only annex a neutral power, and Bessarabia and Romania were no longer neutral; they were German controlled. So that's why this German is still here. But the annexation of Latvia and later Lithuania absolutely went through. And then as for in the fight in East Poland, there was a small. Whenever you're doing a fight in before with blitzing rules, you have to win the fight in two turns. Otherwise, you can't engage in a blitz. It has to be two turns or less. And that fight in East Poland went three turns. So the light armor did not leave East Poland. He's still there. Fortunately, I did check all the dice for the fight in. Is that Lubeski? I think it's Lubeski. It's this territory right here. And he had the two threes out of three dice. He rolled two threes. So one of those had to be a hit, even if it wasn't the light armor wasn't there. And on the other, I believe it was the twos, he hit with a infantry, so he got his two hits. One with what must have been a light armor, and then one with an infantry. So he got his two hits, so he was fine there. Battle was resolved in one round, and the light armor blitzes through to Lithuania. So everything's all set there. So that's just a few minor money changes and some unit changes, but everything else is pretty well in order. As for Japan, we have a few things to do today. We will be pursuing our technologies. We will be trying improved construction, heavy armor, and large ships. Unfortunately for us, this was kind of one of our fears, is that we get to this stage and the PBE might be a little mean to us, even though it's been so wonderfully generous. We roll a 3, a 3, and an 8. So the large ship construction does get completed, but we do not advance heavy armor or improve construction. The Americans are coming, and we are very concerned about that. So, oh, which is the one other part. I'm not sure if it was announced, but America did gain 5 IPP when Germany declared war on the Allied powers there. So they are now at 16. I don't remember if that got announced by Panzer J or not. So I'm just going to make sure that's clear to everybody. As for Japan, we do have some purchases to get done. I want to transport. I've kind of gone back and forth a few times on what I'm purchasing here. So this is the part where I need to. I think so. I think we're going to go ahead and spend the 7. Pick ourselves up a 6th transport. So Japan will be spending 5 to advance our carrier from stage 3 to stage 2. We'll then spend 7 on a transport, so that gets us to 12. We'll then spend 8 more on 2 Marines, that gets us to 20. We then have, let's see, 8 more on 2 artillery, that's 28. And then we get 2 more for militia, that gets us to 30. 2 infantry gets us to 36, and the cavalry gets us to 39. We have spent all 39 of our IPPs. Went back and forth on whether I want to try to attack the KMT or not. If I want to keep my own income kind of rolling on. Some things kind of dependent on how things went with the German attack and the Vichy rolls and some of those things. And I've decided I'm going to go ahead and stay peaceful for now and collect that oil income. So I'm just going to go straight into non-combat movements. We've got a very simple one here. The two artillery in Hunan will just move into Kwangtung. Meanwhile, the two transports that are in P41 are going to pick up two artillery that were in Kwangtung, along with two infantry. And they're just going to sail from P41 to P50, just minor little drop down, and drop those units off in Siam. So we drop off two infantry, two artillery in Siam. Meanwhile, my two destroyers up in Tokyo will pick up the two Marines there. They will move to P15 and then to P32 and then P41. They will drop off both of those Marines in the Fighting 41st. The two transports in P32 will go to P15. They will pick up two infantry and two artillery. They will return to P32. They will drop those two infantry and two artillery off into Hunan. The transport that is located in P16 will pick up the infantry that is in Tokyo. It'll move to P15, pick up the artillery that is there. It will then move to P32 and then down to P41, and it will drop off the infantry and the artillery into the Fighting 41st. Then have a destroyer in P50 that will simply go to P41, P32, and in its turn in P15, and have a destroyer from P41 that will go to P32, and in its turn in P15. The two submarines that were in P59 will go to P50. And this submarine that was actually down here in, I'm not entirely sure what territory it was. It was visiting the wonderful transport that was down there. It's going to also go into P50. So P50 will have both coastal subs and all three of the Soviet subs, along with a TB destroyer. We will discharge two light cruisers from the 6th Fleet that was in P41, and they will come down to P50 to kind of act as escorts, just in case somebody decides to get a little frisky with our transports here. And that is all of our the 18th Air will move from Hunan down to Kwangtung. So I have in Kwangtung, I also have two tactical bombers and three fighters, and then the other two planes are still on the carrier. And that should be it for Rihe. So from Rihe, I moved the 1 cavalry to Suyan and then to Shensi. So I now have 4 cavalry in Shensi. And the last thing, we will collect again 39 income, as we do still have the U.S. oil. U.S. oil income is still flowing through, so we do have some units to place. This is the last turn we were able to buy cavalry, so we make sure we got one of those. So cavalry goes in Rihe. The transport will go in port in the major shipyard here off of Kyushu. And then the 2 infantry will go in Kyushu. The artillery will go in Kyushu. The artillery will go in Kyushu. The 2 marines will get placed in Honshu. And after that, the last piece is my militia. My militia will be placed in Kwangtung. So that was 2 Marines in Honshu, 2 artillery, 2 infantry into Kyushu, a militia into Kwangtung, and the transport is going into port in the shipyard in Kyushu. And that is all for Japan 7.4. Everyone had a good day. We're going to pass you off to Hambone here for Commonwealth 7.5.